My name is Emily Parker, and I grew up in the quiet suburbs of Seattle, Washington. My childhood was ordinary in so many ways, yet one part of it remained extraordinary. The friendship I shared with Daniel Mitchell. He wasn't just a boy next door. He was the anchor of my early years, the one person who understood me even when I didn't understand myself. We met in elementary school, drawn together by a shared love of drawing doodles in the margins of our notebooks. By the time we were 12, we were inseparable, promising each other that we'd stay friends no matter where life took us. But life, as it always does, had other plans. When I was 14, my father received a job offer in Boston, and my family had to move across the country. The night before I left, Daniel and I sat on the swings at our neighborhood park, the sky painted in the hues of a Pacific Northwest sunset. He gave me a bracelet made of woven threads, the kind we used to make in art class, and said, "No matter how far you go, this means you'll always have a piece of Seattle, and a piece of me." We wrote letters at first, long and filled with details about our lives. But with time, the letters slowed, emails replaced them, then messages became shorter, and eventually, silence crept in. Years passed. I graduated, went to college in New York, built a career in publishing, and tried to convince myself that childhood friendships were meant to fade. Yet, sometimes in the quiet moments of life, I'd find myself wondering, what happened to Daniel? One day, nearly 15 years later, while scrolling through social media after a long workday, I stumbled upon a photo of him. There he was, standing in front of a community art gallery in Portland, Oregon. He looked older, of course, but his smile was unmistakable. That same smile that once made me laugh during our long bike rides and summer adventures. My heart raced, and before I could second-guess myself, I sent him a message. "Daniel? Is this really you?" To my surprise, he replied within minutes. His message was warm, filled with the same easy charm I remembered. One message turned into another, and before long, we were talking daily, catching up on the years that had separated us. He told me about his passion for painting, how he had turned it into a career, and how he often thought of our childhood days in Seattle. I confessed that I had missed him more than I ever admitted, even to myself. Weeks later, Daniel invited me to Portland to see one of his exhibitions. I hesitated at first. What if the years had changed us too much? What if the memory of our friendship was better left untouched? But something inside me knew I had to go. The day of our reunion, I boarded a train from Seattle to Portland, nervous and excited. As the train rolled through forests and rivers, I stared out the window, replaying childhood memories like a film reel in my mind. I clutched the old bracelet he had given me, faded now but still intact. When I finally arrived at the station, my heart pounded as I stepped onto the platform. And then I saw him, Daniel, standing a few feet away, holding a bouquet of daisies, the kind we used to pick from the park as kids. His hair was a little longer, his frame taller, but his eyes carried the same warmth that had once been my comfort. "Emily," he said softly, almost as though he couldn't believe I was real. I smiled, tears filling my eyes. "Daniel. After all these years." We walked side by side through the city, catching up as if no time had passed. He showed me his gallery, walls filled with vibrant colors and stories in every brushstroke. One painting stopped me in my tracks. It was of two children sitting on swings beneath a glowing sunset. My throat tightened. "That's us, isn't it?" I whispered. Daniel nodded. "I painted it the week you moved." I never forgot that moment. In that instant, I realized something. Time might change people, but real connections don't fade. Our friendship had withstood the test of years, distance, and silence, only to return stronger than before. The weekend flew by in laughter, reminiscing, and new memories. We talked about our dreams, about where life had taken us, and about how grateful we were to have found each other again. On my last night in Portland, we walked back to that gallery and stood in front of the painting once more. Daniel turned to me and said, "You know, Emily, maybe this isn't just about finding an old friend. Maybe it's about realizing that some stories aren't finished yet." For the first time in years, I didn't just believe in the past. We were building something new. And as I boarded the train back to Seattle, bracelet on my wrist and heart full, I knew this was only the beginning of a story I never expected to write.